Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about cabinets. So that's one thing that's really going to set us apart from any of the RV manufacturers out there. In fact, it might even set us apart from a lot of the cabinet builders in the home industry. So we're going to take you around, kind of show you our process of how we build our cabinets here at Peak Mountain Camps and why ours is a step above the rest. So when we start out doing our cabinets and everything, we decide on colors first with the customer. So we'll do layout, all of that stuff, and then we'll go through and let them pick out their colors. So like this one is a Montana walnut. And what we'll do is we have samples of this. We'll take these samples and we'll send them into our supplier that mixes our stain up, and they will mix us up a stain that matches this. And what they're going to do is they're going to pick the most consistent color in this. So I'm not going to be able to get all of these dark wood grains and stuff. I mean, you'll get grain patterns, especially on these browns and natural wood colors. But like the grays and some of the other colors, you're not going to get that variation in them. You're going to get more of a neutral tone. So we'll start at this, and then they'll mix our stain up. And then we'll go ahead and match our face frames and our doors to that laminate color. So as you can see in this one, this is a finished product. Well, not finished, but this is our face frame after it's been stained in that Montana walnut and then finished. What I'll do is I'll go through, and sometimes it takes 2 or 3 coats of stain to get it to match that color. But in the end, I want it to be that exact same. So we do our very best to make sure that we get it that way. Like I say, there's some colors that are kind of hard to get it that way. So take that into consideration when you're picking colors. If you find ones that have a lot of variations of different colors, it's going to be hard to match. But we'll go ahead once we're finished. We will set all of our interior, all of our face frames. All of our cabinet material is either going to be 3/4 inch or 1/2 inch material. So no 1/8 inch cheap flimsy stuff. We're interested in having high quality cabinetry. So as you can see, this one started getting some cabinets laid in it. And then I'll show you kind of the finished product of what our cabinets are going to be. But yeah, like I say, I mean, everything in here is going to be multiple coats. So on these ones, for example, there's two heavy coats of stain and then a light coat to get the exact color that I want. And then this one has 4 coats of lacquer on top of it. And I'll go through and sand out any imperfections in between coats, make sure that everything's nice and smooth. So once all of the colors and everything are figured out, we've got layouts figured out, what we'll do is we'll go through and we'll generate all of our face frame plans. These will all have cut lists on them and everything. Gives me what I need to build as far as doors, drawer fronts, drawer boxes, all of that stuff. And we'll take our raw alder. And as I'll mention multiple times throughout this video, these are made out of an alder framework, and then they're finished to whatever that laminate color you have requested. So these are just a solid alder. Depending on what colors you choose, a lot of times the doors are going to be a knotty alder, so they'll have a lot more character in them. But once we get these plans and everything, we've got a guy that'll come through and he'll build each of these plans, prep them, and get them ready for me to take over to our spray booth. So this is all of my alder material. As you can see, there's a bunch of different thicknesses here. We've got 2.5s, 2s, 1.5 inch. All of these are all ripped down and prepped so that when we get those face frame plans, we'll go ahead and get them knocked out so that we can move forward with the project. So now that all of our face frames are all built, they've been prepped, all have been sanded, we go through and round these edges, sand these edges smooth, so when you open your cabinets, all of these are nice and smooth, so you don't have to worry about cutting anything that way. So like I mentioned at the start, this is all from raw alder, and we can do this either, I mean, if you're doing a natural finish like Brazil wood, which even then, all of my face frames are just gonna be a solid alder. And then when I do the doors, I can either do a solid alder, which I'll generally do if you're getting a color cabinet, a solid color is we'll do a solid alder. But if you're getting like Brazil wood or one of those other colors, what we'll do is we'll get a knotty alder, and so you'll get a lot more character in it. I mean, you'll still get some character in this solid alder, but gives you a lot more character, especially in those doors if we do the knotty alder. So once that's all finished, I'll blow all these off, get these all prepped so that I can go ahead and stain. This one's going to be stained in a Montana walnut. So this is all mixed up. What we do is we send in our laminate samples, and they're able to mix us up a stain that matches that. There is some technique and some different things to get it to match as close as we can. Some of like your grays and these other colors that aren't really a natural color, they're a little more difficult, but we get them pretty dang close. So we'll go through, mix our stain up, get it all prepped in our cups and everything, and then we'll go through and spray all of these face frames and get them ready for assembly.